Well, good morning. Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us. Well, I got a new dehydrator. I had a dehydrator, but it was just big and clunky and ugly, and the trays didn't fit in the dishwasher. And anyway, poor excuse is better than none. I bought a new dehydrator. And you know how I like to talk about food safety, because actually, I often tell people it does you little good to prepare for the apocalypse and then die of food poisoning. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to do some dehydrating, and I'm going to stress dehydrating safely. And to start out safely with my brand new little dehydrator, I'm going to test its temperature, because the temperature is critical when you're dehydrating most things, but meat in particular. So you want to make sure that your dehydrator is getting hot enough to make the food safe. So if you will, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and then let's get started. So this is my little dehydrator. It fits on my counter. It's not going to live in this spot, but it's going to live on my counter. And I'm not really going to do a full review of it. That's not my purpose here today. It does have the two things that I require for safe dehydrating. One is a temperature setting that's not just high and low and medium. It actually sets the temperature by number, and this one goes up to 159 degrees. And then it has a timer setting. The timer goes up to 24 hours. Now, to be safe, before I use this, I'm going to check that temperature setting. And to do that, you want to start out by checking your thermometer. I have several thermometers, but only one of them will actually fit inside the dehydrator to check it. And yes, you can see I dropped it down in the water. And I'm going to warn you that watching me do this is not pretty. So what I'm going to do is just tell you what I did, and I'll show you the end product. You bring some water to a boil. And at my altitude, that's 212 degrees. And I specify the altitude because if you live at, say, 5,000 feet, water boils at 203 degrees. So you want to know your altitude before you check your thermometer. And you can check that just by your zip code and ask for altitude. So if you're less clumsy than I am, what you will do is hold the thermometer in the boiling water for a minute, and then check to make sure that the thermometer is reading at your boiling point for your altitude. Mine is 212, and it's a small thermometer, so doesn't give you pinpoint accuracy, but it's going to be pretty darn close. Now the rest of this is like watching water boil. Oh wait, it is watching water boil. I'm going to cut away until I get the right temperature, and I'll be back. So I'm not sure you can see this, but it is hovering around the 210 mark. And this is a very small thermometer, so it's going to be difficult to get it any more accurately than that. You can also do this with a glass of ice water looking for 32 degrees, but I wanted to check all my thermometers, and my meat thermometers don't go that low. So we're going with this. So I dropped my little thermometer down through the trays, turned it on to the highest heat of 159, and set it for 30 minutes. And if you look here, and I'm not sure you can see this tiny thing, it's right under 160. So I feel like at this point I can trust the thermometer on this little dehydrator. So basically all we've done here is to make sure that we can safely dehydrate meat, because meat has to be dehydrated at between 145 to 165, and this little baby will do that. Just a little note here, I think this is going to work great. This is a Cuisinart. I don't think it's related to Cuisinart in any way. It was reasonably priced. It has a fan motor to circulate the air and a thermostat. And as I said, don't buy one without a thermostat. Temperature is critical when dehydrating meat. I was a little disappointed because The picture was red, and this is bronze, so no 5-star rating from me on this. Tomorrow I'm dehydrating sliced turkey breast, and I hope you'll join me for that. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. Hope to see you again tomorrow.